Sige, welcome na natin sila.
Okay, so now we're live on Facebook. So good evening, everyone. Good evening, IFNG. Good evening, World English Reviews team. So tonight, we are already equipped with the theories and the ideas on how to answer the question. However, we are still having this mind-boggling question in our mind that how we'll be able to, how we'll be able to impress our examiner. So now, Sir Lee J is here. Sir Lee J, take it away.
Hello, good evening to Good evening to all of you. Okay, welcome guys. We have a good number of participants here in our Zoom room. We have like almost 20, I think. Sa social media po on Facebook, still coming in. Mamaya check natin kung ilan yung kasama natin. Wait lang, let me fix my camera. There you go. So good evening to all of you. Let me introduce myself first. Okay, short introduction lang. Let me recycle this presentation. Okay, I think everyone's having a problem with their internet connection, no? Yung mga nasa audience natin, nagka-problema po ba kayo with your internet connection today? Ako kaninang bandang 6, I got totally disconnected. How about the rest of you? Okay, antindi. Yes. Yan. Sige. No problem. So just come back when you're able. Okay, ayaw mag-load ng PowerPoint ko. Wow, what's happening? Okay, let me try it another way. Here you go. Okay. So let me introduce myself for those who are here for the first time. Okay, so my name is Lee J. De Jesus. Lee na lang po. Okay na ako dyan sa Lee. Lee is totally fine. Okay, don't call me Mr. De Jesus or Mr. Lee. I hate that name. Lee lang po. Okay. So I started teaching in 2005 by accident. My auntie was reviewing for her Ielts test. And during that time, ang mahal po ng Ielts review sa Pampanga. I think it cost her like 9,000 pesos to review. So I told her, I asked her why she spent that much money. I could have, taught her, okay, the subject. Na actually kayabangan lang, okay, because I didn't know anything about IELTS, but I thought it was just English. Okay, so during that time, I didn't have a job. So she asked me to apply because their instructor was leaving. So I did. Nag-apply po ako na nakachinelas and I don't know why, but I was the one accepted among the 7 applicants, I think. And 16 years later, here I am, still going strong, still teaching IELTS. Okay, and I'm now, nag-improve naman po yung lagay natin as a teacher. So started in 2005. Sorry about that. So today, I teach IELTS. Okay, I also teach OET, okay, English subjects. I'm also a civil service passer, 2010 pa. I passed it on the first try, so I teach civil service subjects. And part-time call center language training also. Okay, I've taken the academic test, general training test, the paper-based test, and the computer-delivered test. So whatever you need, I'll be able to help you out. Tanong lang kayo, just ask all the questions that you want. I can probably help you out with it, okay? And I got an overall IELTS score of 9. I think I've done that twice now. And what's more important for this session is I've gotten 9 in speaking twice already. I didn't always get 9. No, my first take in 2006, that was my lowest score. I only got a 7.5. Then next take 2012, 8.5. Then 2019, band 9, and last July 30, I got a band 9 again. Thank God, because I needed that score. Okay. And I have a Cambridge CELTA qualification. So I have a certificate in English language teaching to adults from, it's a product of Cambridge University, although my school was in Australia. Okay. And what I'd like, probably one of the most important things I want to tell you is, okay, you've been hearing me speak for the past few minutes. You've been hearing me cough. Upo ako, all right? My voice is not exactly, a DJ voice, not the best, the most soothing one. It's a bit scratchy. Okay, yeah, I don't sound like an American or a Brit, or I don't even sound like a call center agent, di ba? But despite those things, I still got a 9. And I think, when you look for a teacher, that's the most important thing, eh? Not how they dress, okay, not how they speak, but ask them, did they actually get a perfect score in the test? Because those are the best, probably the best people to teach you. So kung kinaya ko po with my brown eyes and my black hair and my scratchy voice, then I think I can also help you out with it. Okay, so that's my name. I'm Lee, and I'm from World English Reviews. A few rules for this session, guys. We'd like it if you can just use your real name. Okay, you can change your name in the participants box so I can address you properly. Also, if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask. Type them in the Q&A box, type them in the chat box if you want, put them in the comments. Okay, and I will answer as many of them as I can, as long as they are relevant to our session. Okay, and you don't need to wait. Tanggalin na natin tong ito nakasulat dito. You don't need to wait until the end of the session. You know what? Interrupt me anytime. I don't mind because I'm not following a PowerPoint anyway. Okay, ano lang to. It's just something I'm using. I'm just using a few pages of them. Okay. So anyway, you don't need to wait. Please ask anytime while it's free. Okay, because if you want a one-on-one session with me already, then ibang usapan na po yan. Okay, I'd have to charge. Ika nga nung favorite, isa sa mga favorite songs ko. I can teach you, but I have to charge. All right? So today's topic is all about speaking and how to impress your Ielts examiners. Okay, para malaman natin how to do that, we need some basic knowledge about speaking. Okay, and here it is. Format lang, you probably know this already because you've done your research and you've attended other IFNG classes already. So, review lang ng mabilis. So, the speaking test is the shortest among the 4. Writing is 1 hour, reading is 1 hour, listening is more or less 40 minutes for the paper-based test. For the computer-delivered test, it's around like 32, 33 minutes. Ganun lang po siya. Okay, but shortest is speaking, 11 to 14 minutes. It will not even reach 15. Bawal siyang lumampas ng 14. So if you've heard other people say 15, that's not the most accurate piece of information. 14 na po. Sir, 1 minute lang naman. No, accuracy is very important. Okay? Accuracy shows you the expertise of your speaker. So 11 to 14 minutes. Most examiners will finish it at around 13 and a half. Okay? So it's a one-on-one interview. It's live. And of course, it's recorded because it's going to be reviewed by a second examiner. How many people grade you? 2 people. Okay? The first one is the person that you're talking to. And then, hindi naman lahat, but some of these recordings get reviewed, okay, by the head office or by the regional office. Okay, and then those grades need to match. Kailangan consistent po yung grading nila. The examiners get checked. Hindi lang kayo yung ginegradean, pati po yung examiners. Alright? Now, the interview, okay, right now in the Philippines is done through a video call. Just like, if you've been using Zoom, okay, or even Facebook Messenger to call some of your coworkers or your friends. Ganon din po siya. So no face-to-face interviews right now because of COVID. And I think we're lucky because in other countries like Korea, I have a lot of Korean students. They already do it face-to-face, which is not the safest thing to do. It's not safe. So mas gusto kong ginagawa sa Philippines that it's a video interview. And you're lucky if your voice isn't that strong. Bakit? Yung ginagamit na equipment, the equipment being used during the test is excellent. Oh, okay. There you go. So I muted the participants, all right? So going back. Mhm. So I think that's yes, hello. Yes, sino po to? Yes, sir. I'm just gonna mute you, all right? There you go. Hmm. Admins, can I ask for help? Yeah,
Sure,
can
sir.
you mute? Hmm. Oh. Uh, okay, for a moment.
Wala man, sir. Sorry. Nag-check po ako ng ng naka-unmute.
All right. Uh, guys, can you make me the host? Yeah, guys, can you transfer hosting to me so I can, control it? Yeah, thank you very much. Let me just make some adjust. Uh, hmm. Okay, there's a YouTube video playing in the background. Can you please mute? Hmm. Guys, am I the only one hearing the audio in the background?
Yes.
Ah. Okay, I'm hearing. Oh, there you go. Nawala na siya. Okay, so I was hearing a video playing in the background. May problema po ang internet natin. Yeah, you can't hear anything. Yeah, I am hearing very loud audio right now. Okay, for a moment. Hmm. Okay, welcome back. I solved the problem. Yeah, it's my it's my equipment. Yeah, so it's connected to three devices. My Bluetooth headset. So I was hearing the other devices in the house. Sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, your equipment may be expensive, but if you don't know how to use it, then it's just trouble. Hi. So anyway, let me go back to what we were talking about. So speaking test, right? It's the shortest. It's one-on-one, and I think you're lucky because even if your voice is a bit, it's a bit weak. Even if your voice is a bit weak now, the headset can pick it up because they use something similar to this. That's why I bought this one. Eh. Okay, it's also for my practice. So kahit mahinayin po yung boses nyo, napipick up na. Because before, having a weak voice was a problem. But now, it's less of a problem because, because you're using some equipment. Okay? Anyway, it might be a video call, but the test is still the same. It's still composed of three parts. Okay? Part one, the introduction and the overview. Okay? They will just ask you simple questions there. Part two, the individual long-term. And the final part is the two-way discussion. Let me show you a sample test. Okay, so I memorized my exam questions, last month and then also for 2019. So I'm gonna share them to you, and you can take a screenshot if you want. Although I've shared this before also. Okay. So ayan po, ayan. So take a picture or take a screenshot, no problem. These were all the questions I was asked. And what you're gonna notice is, parang marami yung questions ko, no? It looks like, because a normal speaking test will probably have like, maybe maybe you can remove like 4 or 5 questions here. Okay, but I think they asked me so many questions because of my speech rate. Medyo mabilis yung sagot ko. So marami rin silang itatanong because they have to use up the time properly. Okay, so being asked a lot of questions is actually good. It means you have a good speed. Okay, if they're only able to ask you like 4 questions in part one and in part 3, it might mean that it's taking you too long to answer. You might be too slow. So maganda rin yung marami silang tinatanong. Right? So you have part one here. You will notice that they only ask simple questions like, can you please state your full name? What do you do for a living? Okay. And then in part 3, they will ask the most complex questions. Mga pinakamahirap. They might even ask you about the future. They might ask you to make comparisons. They will start using difficult terms. All right. So that's part 1, part 2, and part 3. Okay. So my main focus for tonight is, of course, you've probably watched other speakers talk about speaking. So what I want to focus on tonight is how to actually impress. Okay, how to actually impress your examiners. Okay, so are you ready to find out? So please prepare your notebooks and your pencils. I'm gonna say them to you. Okay, one by one, and then I want you to write them down. Okay, I could just type them on screen, but I prefer it if you write them down because that way you'll be able to remember them more easily. Mas madali po siyang tandaan. Okay? So please prepare your pencils and your paper. All right. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. I'm going to put this on screen. Okay. So number 1, the first thing that you need to learn, okay, is number 1, dress appropriately. Okay, write it down. Dress appropriately. You might hear some things, a few things tonight. Okay, you might hear a few things tonight that might go against some of the previous advice that you heard, but don't worry, I will explain them to you in detail and how to apply them properly. Okay, number 1, dress appropriately. Question, is there a dress code for the Ielts test? Okay, tingnan natin yung alam ng audience natin. Can anyone tell me, do you know if there's a dress code in the Ielts exam? Any ideas? Okay, some are saying yes. Okay, some are saying you need to wear semi-formal attire. Pwede. Okay, there is no dress code for the Ielts test. Okay, wala pong dress code. In fact, one of my friends who got a 9 in the test, we took the test together in 2006. I got 7.5. He got 9. What was I wearing? I was wearing long sleeves and a necktie. My friend was wearing a hip hop t-shirt with a picture of a sneaker here and Michael Jordan here. Okay, and he was wearing sneakers, tie. Tapos he had some bling bling because he's an amboy. He spent his vacation here. Okay, he was vacationing from the States. So anyway, he got 9 and I got 7.5. Yes. Kung may nakakasabay kayong Japanese or Koreans, other nationalities, you might see of them, see some of them wearing pajamas, just like, sino to? Who said this? Yeah, from Sir GL, no? Background noise. Oh, okay. For a moment. All right. Meron pa po ba? Do I still have a background noise? Better? All right. Thank you very much. So, uh, there's no dress code. Okay. But I would still say that you have to dress appropriately. Why? It's not a cheap test. You're spending a lot of money. Okay, so I would, if I were the examiner, I would like to see you, I would like you to be professional. However, you're not supposed to wear formal clothing. Okay, why? If you're used to it, yeah. But most of us, we don't really wear formal attire, diba? So I wouldn't suggest it. Why? It might make you uncomfortable. Okay, so kung hindi kayo komportable, huwag niyong isusuot. Why? To perform at your best, you need to be relaxed and comfortable. Okay, however, don't wear, inappropriate clothing, don't wear revealing clothes. Okay, because pagkapasok niyo sa room, the moment you enter the room, you might make a negative impression on your examiner, and you don't want that. Okay, making a negative impression, naku, wag. Okay, you want to make all the positive impressions that you can. So dress appropriately. Good news, because of the video interviews, I don't know in the Middle East how they do it, okay? But in the Philippines, because of the video interviews, they only see the top part of your body, all right? Okay, but maybe for those who still have face-to-face tests, okay, think about what you're wearing from head to toe. Okay, no need to be too formal. Okay, yeah, okay, semi-formal, smart casual would be okay. Just show them that you came ready for the test and that you're prepared for it. It's also a sign of respect, okay, for the person interviewing you. So that's very important. And remember, okay, examiners are, well, in the Philippines, they're usually university professors from UP. I know a few from San Beda, Lasal, Ateneo, of course. Okay. So ayan po sila. So how do these people think? And sila din, how do they dress? Tignan nyo rin sila, di ba? How would you feel, okay, if you were interviewing someone, maybe for a job position, and then they came there na hindi okay yung pananamit niya, you're gonna judge them harshly, right? So, how you look like, okay, in your clothes, they're not in the grading system, okay, but your examiners are human too, okay, and they cannot help but judge people by how they look, because that's how we are wired. Okay, a lot of your nurses, you know how the brain works, di ba? Eyesight is one of the most powerful senses for human beings. It's the one that we use every day. So let's use that to our advantage. Magpakita tayo ng maganda. Dress appropriately so that you can make a good impression. Okay? That's point number 1. Ulitin ko, dress appropriately. Point number 2. Okay? Come into the room with a smile. Okay? You have several options of how to come into the room. Okay? You can come into the room like this. So, sir, good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. Okay, no? Walang confidence sa sarili, no? Okay, sir, nervous. Nervous. Oh, ganon, di ba? Well, if you do that, then you're not making a good case for getting a band 7. Di ba? So, when you come in, okay, wag naman din na stone face na ganito. Okay, that's also not appropriate. You come in with a smile. Okay? Bakit? The examiners are also might be nervous. It might be their second time pa lang na nag-examine. Okay? Or they might be stressed also. Okay? People are like mirrors eh. Tayo para tayong salamin. We actually reflect the emotions of people around us. So if you come into the room na negative yung energy, your examiner will probably reflect that to you. And you don't want that. So come in with a smile. Okay? Make them feel that you're welcoming them instead of them having to welcome you. Hindi, kayo yung mag-welcome sa kanila. Okay? You greet them. Some people come into the room, tapos ano yung ginagawa lang natin? They just wait. You know what? I would appreciate it if a candidate comes into the room and then says, "Oh, hey, morning." Okay? Smile tayo, greet them. Treat them like human beings because sometimes they don't get treated like that eh. Yung tingin ng ibang candidate sa kanila, kalaban, they're not. They're just doing their jobs. And a lot of them are actually quite nice people. I can assure you that. Okay? Very professional and, fun people also. They just have to be strict because of the rules of the test. Pero they also want you to be successful. All right? Examiners don't want you to be successful. Palagay nyo ba they want you to fail? Of course not. Okay? Because it also, it hurts when you fail someone because they know that this is a high stakes test. This is your dream. Okay? This is your key to the future. Eh. Ba't nila kayo ibabagsak if you don't deserve it? All right? So guys, come in with a smile. Ngayon, may nagtatanong dito, "Sir," sabi, "di ba naka-mask during the test?" Yes, you're not allowed to take off your mask. So guys, when you practice your speaking, I suggest you practice with a mask. Okay, nasan ba yung mask ko? Okay, it's outside. All right, because when I took the test, naka-mask ako. I think you might, if you request, if you ask them, they might allow you to remove it. Okay, pero ako I didn't. I preferred to do the speaking test with a mask. Okay, sir, so paano kami mag-i-smile if we're wearing a mask? Guys, a smile isn't just your mouth, this. Okay? According to research, according to science. Yes, thank you very much. Sasabihin ko na to eh. Okay, a genuine smile, okay, is seen on the eyes or in the eyes, on the eyes. Okay, not really here because you can be doing this, but if your eyes are not smiling, then people will feel that it's not genuine. A genuine smile includes the eyes. So kahit nakatakip yan, makikita mo naman magaganon yung mata. And also, a smile can be detected by the tone of voice. This is how blind people know that you're still smiling, even though they don't see. Bakit? Kasi it can also be detected by the ears. Okay, so pagpasok nyo sa room, you see the examiner, you see them on screen, you say, "Hi, morning." Okay, even if you're wearing that mask, you still smile. They will feel it. Boom. Instant positive effect. Okay, so some of the advice I'm giving you, obviously, okay, may pinanggagalingan. All right, I hope you understand that I'm not inventing these things. These are from personal experience. I've been doing this for a decade and a half already. Okay, so try nyo lang. If you failed the test before, I hope wala masyado, but if you're in the audience right now and if you failed the test before, okay, yung mga sinasabi ko, subukan nyo muna. This might be the difference between you failing again and you passing this time. Try nyo lang, wala namang pumawawala. Alright? Next. Number 3 na tayo. Okay, number 3. Mind your body language. Mind your body language. Okay? So, sir, hindi totoo yan. Bakit? Kasi wala naman sa grading system yung body language. Ang alam ko po, pagdating sa speaking, 4 lang ang tinitingnan. Fluency and coherence, lexical resource, grammar, okay, tsaka yung pronunciation. So, wala namang grade yung body language. Actually, wala siyang diretsong grade, pero it will affect how you speak. Remember, language is not based on words only. It's based on what we call, may mga tinatawag tayo na, anong tawag, nakalimutan ko na. Okay? May tinatawag tayo na paralinguistics. Okay? So what's paralinguistics? This is the tone of your voice, the rate of your speech, and also the little movements that you make with your body. Okay? For instance, in 2006, nung naka 7.5 lang ako, what was my body language? Ganito. Okay, look. I sat like this. I put my hands like this on the table. And I was wearing my necktie, my long sleeves, ganyan. I was very stiff. Yes, ma'am. I think the answer to that is like this. Parang military style. I was nervous. So I thought that would make a good impression. You know what? It didn't. Examiner, Mama Corazon de Dufalza. I memorized her name. I think she's in heaven now. Okay, but yeah, Ma'am Cora. Okay, she gave me a 7.5. I think she didn't like, the way I presented it. Pero I got 9 in 2019 and like 2 months ago. Paano yung body language ko? Ganitong ganito. Yan, I was leaning back and I was just doing this. Oh, sabi kong ganito. That's an interesting question. On one hand, there are many benefits, but I can tell you maybe also like 1 or 2 negatives. So, gumaganon ako. Bakit? Okay? Yes, okay, I'm gonna address this later. So, I was doing this. Why? Because doing, little movements can help you get rid of the extra energy. Okay, yung mga kaba ninyo, that might help. Also, it might help you organize your thoughts. However, keep them small. Huwag masyadong malaki, of course. You don't want to distract from from your voice then, from your answer. Okay, but this one helps. So, wag yung ganyan, no, don't clasp your hands together like this. Relax lang po kayo. And another trick that I applied, yung body language trick, when I wanted to emphasize something, okay, kapag alam ko na may sasabihin akong malalim na term, high level term, or when I expected to say something that I knew would impress the examiner, ang ginawa ko, di ba nakaganyan ako, I actually leaned forward para sure ako na maririnig talaga ng examiner. So, blah, 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 blah. Uy, alam ko itong sagot dito. And you know what? Okay, so I was doing this, okay, when I wanted to impress, when I was saying something impressive, lean forward ako and I tried to catch the eye of the examiner. Pero pag di ako masyadong confident, chill lang ako, relax lang. Okay? Body language, very important. Just like in martial arts, when you're too tense, hindi masyadong mag-flow yung movements mo, pati yung speaking mo. Now, Abigail Kamalig is saying, the mask might also affect the clarity of our voice. They might think we are mumbling. Exactly. So, when you practice, mag-practice kayo na merong mask. I mean, how many of you have recorded themselves? Kung di nyo pa na-record yung sarili nyo, why not? You have those really expensive phones with your iPhones and your Samsungs, and you haven't recorded yourself yet. Diba? Or you have a nice laptop, di nyo pa na-record sarili nyo. Guys, you might not be studying as well as you think. This is one of the first things I teach my students. Okay? I-record ninyo yung sarili nyo. And then listen to it. Usually people don't like listening, hearing their own voice, but you have to do it so that you know how others, perceive you. All right? So going back. So guys, body language. Okay, natural, relax lang. You can do this. Pwede nyo gawin to. Okay? So don't clasp like that. Don't grab your armrest and then grab it like this. No, matitense lang kayo masyado. Okay? Relax your shoulders. Relax lang. Okay? Tip number 4 on how to impress your examiner. Okay? I also want you to do a quick analysis of your examiner. Okay? Yung bang examiner nyo, babae, lalaki. Yung bang examiner nyo, is your examiner a young person? 30 below. Those are rare, by the way. But my examiner last July was actually a young professor from UP. I think she was not even 30 yet. Okay. So is it a young person or is it a much older person? Is it a Filipino? Is it an Australian? Is it a Brit? Is it an American? Foreigner ba or native? Why am I telling you to do this? Because in communication, you already encountered this in your college classes, no? In communication, one of the most important things you need to do is keep in mind who your audience is. You don't speak, the same way to a child and to a teenager, or to a senior citizen and to a young woman or to a young man. Okay? Bakit? You can actually tailor fit your answers and control the conversation, and what adjust it to what they like. Kunwari ako, nakita ko yung examiner ko noong July and, uy, a young woman. Mukhang galing ng UP. Judgmental lang ko. There's a certain look kasi. Okay, UP people, they have a certain look. Alam na alam mo. Okay. And then, you know what? I adjusted some of my answers to fit her personality. Alam ko yung mga gusto niyang marinig. So, I didn't give my real answers. I adjusted my answers to what I thought she would like. And you know what? I tried to make her laugh a lot. Okay? She was laughing a lot during our interview. And that's how I knew, bibigyan ako ng 9 nito. She's enjoying what I'm saying. Okay? Because you want the person to give you a high score, you tell them what they like to hear. It can be a little bit unethical in other situations. Okay, but you know what? If you tell a person what they want to hear, then they will have a better impression of you. In short, magpasipsip ng konti. Maybe you've experienced this. You like people who tell you na, uy, pumupogi ka ngayon. Uy, gumaganda ka ngayon. Di ba gusto niyo yun? Or do you prefer people who tell you na, ay, tumaba ka? Uy, laki ng pimple mo. Which one do you prefer? People who are pleasant or people who are not? Siyempre, you like pleasant people. Diba? So you can use human psychology to actually increase your score. So analyze yung examiner nyo. Even the gender is important. You know why? When I get a female examiner, okay, and then they ask me about a person, a historical person, my favorite scientist, my favorite actress, an intelligent person that I know. These are common questions in the test, diba? I make sure that I mention a woman. Pag babae examiner ko, babae rin yung sinasagot ko. So to my male examiners, I say, of course, Albert Einstein. Okay. But when it's a female examiner, I say Marie Curie. She won the Nobel Prize. I think she was the first woman to do so. Okay. Pag tinanong ako about a person that I admire, okay, kung babaeng examiner ko, I say Oprah Winfrey or maybe Angelina Jolie. Which is true, by the way. I also admire them, but I also tailor fit my answers. And I don't know why I interview a lot of people. Laging lalaki yung sinasagot nila, no? Whenever I ask about a historical person, a scientist, a person they admire, puro lalaki. I mean, dude, the world is changing. Come on, it's actually more, better if you talk about a woman, if your examiner is a woman, because it's more relatable to them. Okay, so analyze yung examiner nyo. Maybe you can adjust some of your answers to fit. Okay, I mean, if your examiner is 60, 65 years old, maybe, and they ask you about a favorite song of yours, maybe you can mention a song that they're familiar with. Okay, instead of saying, ano yung kanto yung WAP, yung WAP, okay, that rap song by this, I don't know who sang it, nakalimutan ko na. Medyo bastos yung song eh. Instead of saying one of these new songs, maybe you can say something that they can relate with. Okay, definitely if I have a male examiner who's in his 60s, maybe I'd mention some Tom Jones instead of Bruno Mars. It's gonna be more relatable to them, something that they know. Remember, okay, if you want to make people interested in you and you want to make them have a good impression of you, make yourself relatable to them. This is applicable in sales. This is applicable in politics. Yeah, I have a lot of relatives who are into politics. Okay, and they do this all the time without them realizing it. It works. It also works in a job interview. All right? That's number 4. Analyze your examiner and then you adjust, to fit them. Okay. Number 5, which brings me to number 5, guys. Make them laugh as much as you can. Make them laugh. Okay. So a lot of some examiners I interviewed tell me it can be quite boring. Medyo nakakainip daw yung trabaho kasi ulit-ulit. They ask the same questions. It's always the same procedure. They're always in a hurry. And people always give the same answer. Where do you come from? I come from, pare-pareho lang naman sa what do you like most about your profession? Oh, helping people. Di ba? It makes my heart swell when I see people leaving the hospital. Yung typical na sagot minsan, simula pa lang ng sentence, mahulaan mo na eh. But, you know, if you have an opportunity to say something in a funny way without making it a grammatical error, okay, funny but correct. All right? Kasi merong funny but wrong eh. Funny because it's bad English, then that's not good. You know, something that fits the situation. Like I told you, the 2 times I made my examiners laugh, I got 9. Okay? 7.5 lang ako when my examiner was really serious back in 2005. Okay? So, if it fits the answer, you have the opportunity, go ahead and say it, don't hesitate. Because you know what? Your funny statement will be a breath of fresh air to that examiner. They're bored with their work. Okay? Well, the veterans, the new ones, of course, excited pa sila and they're nervous. But the veteran examiners, it's just another job to them and it can be boring. So if you say something interesting, you know, okay, something a little bit different, then it will work in your favor, no? Kasi people give the same serious, you know, photocopy answers. Kunwari, if you ask candidates from the Philippines, talk about a flower in your country, sinasagot nila, 2 lang yan. Hulaan ko, rose o kaya sampagita. Tama. Did I guess correctly? Yun ba yung naisip nyo? Talk about a flower in your country. Kung hindi rose, sampagita yung naisip nyo. The average age range of examiners. That would be difficult, but you know what? Okay, most of them are in their 40s. Okay, usually 40s. And although they've been hiring a lot of because of the pandemic, a lot of examiners I think left the Philippines, so now they're hiring new ones. Okay, but the ones I know, they're all almost 40 na rin sila eh. Okay, a few years ago, the average was older. Like the average was probably in their 50s. And I knew a lot of examiners who were in their 60s na. Okay, pero right now, it got a little bit younger. Okay, Ma'am Glads? Nice question. Yeah, so keep those questions coming. I like those questions. All right? So guys, wala akong gine-claim na secret knowledge or yung sa akin, lang, professional experience lang po. Hindi rin leakage to, baka mapagalitan ako ng IDP o yan, the British Council. Okay, this is just based from my professional observations. All right? Yeah. So let's go back. So if you can say something funny, then you know what? Go ahead. If you can say something a little bit different from the typical answers, then go ahead. Go ahead. Okay? Next. Number 6 na tayo. Number 6. Use natural language. I know that a lot of IELTS teachers and a lot of IELTS review centers, you know, they give you lists of words to memorize or, you know, sample sentences to say. Pero please lang, just make sure it's still natural yung sagot nyo. Sometimes you try too hard on impressing with the vocabulary. What happens is, hindi na natural. Okay? I mean, listen to native speakers, watch their movies. Okay? How do they usually answer? Well, the educated ones, no, because there are native speakers who are not educated. Okay? Remember, even some native speakers will not get 9 in the IELTS test. Okay? Kahit na native sila, they might not get a 9. Because I know a few. Okay, so anyway. Natural pa ba yung sagot mo? Okay? Because sometimes I ask people, what's your name? Okay, paano sinasagot ng what's your name? Ako sasabihin ko lang, it's Lee J. De Jesus. That's it. And in fact, yan lang ang sinabi ko noong July 30. Still got a 9 with that. Because I hear some people saying, thank you for asking that question because my name is very important to me. The first name given to me by my parents is Lee J. And our family name is De Jesus. So it's Lee J. De Jesus. Talaga? Is that how you say it in real life? Guys, come on. Real life language. Be realistic. Sasabihin ko lang talaga, it's Lee J. De Jesus. That's it. If you want, you can call me Lee. Siguro yan lang yung follow-up ko. Okay? I mean, somebody posted questions here in the chat box. Okay, nakalagay dito. Sabi niya dito, Yeah, favorite color. What's your favorite color? Okay? Oh, paano ba sinasagot 'yan? You can say, "Oh, it's red, it's pink, it's blue. I love blue. Oh, white is great." Mga ganyan, 'di ba? Pero, sasabihin mo ba, uh, the color, that is, close to my, heart because it is my favorite is blue. Dude, that's not natural, but I hear people saying it like that all the time because, tinatry nila mag-insert ng high-level words, but it has to be natural pa rin. Okay? So sometimes you don't need to answer all of those IELTS questions in a very complex way. Okay? Try to be natural about it. Huwag yung tunog memorize. And paano pa magtutunog natural? By infusing your emotions into your answer. What do I mean by that? Ito this happens a lot. I ask a person, okay, talk about your favorite movie. Tapos ganito silang sumagot. Okay, my favorite movie is the Life of Pi, and it's a wonderful movie because it explores the blah 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 blah. Dude, it would be much better, okay, if you showed your emotions through that answer. Okay, it's something that you like. It's something that you enjoy. Okay, it's something it's been your favorite for a long time. It's something that you look forward to. Ipasok nyo sa ipasok nyo sa boses nyo. Di ba? Imbes na, what's your favorite color? My favorite color is red. Ang flat Especially a lot of Filipinos, well, actually pati mga Koreans, ang flat magsalita, parang nagbabasa sa simbahan, first reading, reading from the book of, hindi, you like something, oh, I love blue, of course, because it's the color of my school. Go Ateneo. I would actually say it like that. Kung paano ko siya sinabi ngayon, that's how I would say it. All right? So guys, if you're talking about something that you don't like, what do? You lower, okay, your volume. You can slow down a bit. Okay? Talk about something that you don't like. Imbis na, I don't like loud people. Imbis na ganun yung tono nyo, maybe you can say, you know what? I hate loud people. Okay? Pwedeng ganon. So in that way, you're not just relying on the vocabulary to express your message. Okay? You're using other tools to be able to express it. Kaya subukan nyo lang. Okay? When you watch movies, paano ba magsalita yung mga English speakers? Flat ba sila? Hindi, di ba? There are a lot of changes in their voice, change in tone, change in intonation, change in pacing, change in volume. And, di ba? When they get surprised, parang, what? Oh, what happened there? Ganon, di ba? Hindi yung, what happened there? Flat. No, mas madali yung speaking test if you use your emotions to help you express your answer. Kahit may mali sa grammar, mali sa vocabulary, they will still probably get what you're trying to say because you inserted your paralinguistics, your body language, your emotions into it. Okay? Now, somebody's asking here, what's the difference of, I don't think, is this the topic today? UKVI, general training, and IELTS, general training? It's the same. GT test, it's the same. Ang kaibahan lang, mas mahal yung UKVI. Okay, although I think the gap got smaller. Dati kasi laki ng difference, 11,000 yung regular. UKVI was 14,000. I think I read an email a few weeks ago. They adjusted the prices, mas malapit na po yung presyo nila. Pero ano po, pareho lang sila. If you're applying to the UK, you take UKVI. Okay, and it's also acceptable in other countries. Okay, pero yung regular IELTS, they might not accept it sa UK po. Okay, so make sure that you're taking the correct one. Right. Here's a question: Is a you word really a no-no in the speaking section? Well, it depends on your answer. Right? Because if you're good, you can make it work. However, okay, we have most teachers will tell you that saying you is to be avoided because una-una, you don't know anything about your examiner. Okay, you're making assumptions and they might disagree with your assumptions because they might not be like that. Sinabi mo, you. Hindi naman pala sila ganun. So that's a mistake na they might not appreciate it. However, if you're really sure, okay, then why not? Kasi I actually used that a couple of times in my last exam. Okay, the examiner asked me about using the Google Maps and Waze, and I said, sinagot ko sa kanya, you know what I don't like about it? You've probably experienced this. Ginanong ko siya. You know what I'm talking about. They give you the wrong directions, right? Ginanong ko siya. And she actually laughed at that. Medyo tumango pang ganun. Okay, and I still got 9. So it's not an absolute no-no. Maybe it depends on how you say it. It depends on the usage. Okay? So in general, yeah, wag gumawa ng assumptions, pero useful pa rin siya in a way. So to tell you exactly how to use it, I need to, to hear your sentences. Maybe you can be more specific with the questions. All right? Okay? Yes, all right. I love it when I'm able to answer. So, number 6 po yun. Use language naturally. Use natural language. Okay? Number 7 na. Number 7. How to impress your examiners. Show them that you came prepared. Okay? Show them that it's a lot of money, that it takes a lot of effort, and then you invested the proper amount of time and effort there. Paano ipapakita yun? Well, I've covered a little bit of it. Okay? So, okay kayo, maybe you can, hindi naman shave your facial hair, pero be presentable, be neat. Don't smell like cigarettes when you go to the testing room. Make sure that your hair is presentable naman. No need to cut your hair short. Okay? Ano pa? Tapos, make sure na hindi lukot-lukot. In short, make a good impression. Pero kasama na rin doon, siguro para sa akin, is part 2. Alright? Because in part 2, di ba, they will give you a task card. There will be a set of questions there, and then you will have some scratch paper to make notes. Some people don't make notes. And you know what? It might be taken negatively kasi ibig sabihin nun parang, wala kang strategy. Wala kang pinapractice na strategy. You didn't prepare. And that's not helpful. Okay? Ako, definitely, I'm more impressed when I see the candidate. Okay, getting the paper. Tapos, the moment I said, okay, you have 1 minute to prepare, you may now begin. And then they start writing, they start drawing arrows or making notes on their paper. That is impressive. Now I'm thinking, oh, she really prepared for this one. Maybe I should listen more closely. Okay? In fact, one of my students, nangyari, before the pandemic, okay, the examiner actually asked to see the paper. Sabi niya, okay, before we begin, is it okay if I take a look at your paper? Tapos pinakita niya, kasi tinuturo ko sa students ko yung cross method. I don't know if you're familiar with that cross method for speaking part 2. Tapos, gumano na yung examiner. My student got 8. Well, not just because of the notes. Of course, magaling din yung student and well prepared. I prepared her for like 8 weeks siguro kami. Okay, I did like 8 interviews with her. So she was really prepared. Okay, pero I think it helped, no? Kasi kumano yung examiner, binalik yung paper sa kanya. Okay, so, you tend to respect people who take things seriously, especially your product. Okay, produkto ng examiner yung Ielts, sineryoso mo siya, then they will appreciate it, of course. All right? Okay, so that's number 7. Show them that you're serious and show them that you came prepared. All right? And finally, dito na ako sa dulo. Finally, after the interview, the examiners will just say, okay, that's the end of the interview. You may now leave the room, diba? So what do? Don't stay there and try to make small talk. Okay, don't stay there and try to beg them. Okay, sir, please, sir. No, don't. Okay, pero wag din naman no. Don't just stand up, get your things, tapos leave na. Hindi. You know what? Say it very quickly. You say, thank you very much. Have a good day. Okay? You say, because sometimes some candidates are so nervous, talagang tatalikod na lang eh. Yeah, I'm begging you. Okay? Because you know what? This has happened to me. I've been teaching for 16 years, right? And, oh my God. Pwede ba sabihin? Okay, sorry. I can't reveal it. But I've had people like beg me after the interview. Sabi ko, why? Don't do that. Okay? Bumababa yung respeto eh. Okay, the best thing the best way to end it is, okay, you look the examiner in the eye. Pag sinabi niya, okay, thank you very much, that's the end of the interview, you may now leave the room. Tignan mo siya mata sa mata, you smile and say, thank you very much, I appreciate it. Yeah, imbes na thank you very much, have a good day lang, because I think that's a bit common. And it's not impressive, it's already what memorized level na yun. But most people don't say, thank you very much, I appreciate it. O kaya, thank you very much for your time. Okay? Kung medyo palagay nyo, religious yung examiner, you might even say, oh, thank you, ma'am. God bless. You might even say that if you're sincere about it and if you think they'll like it. Okay? Pero careful lang sa mga religious views, because they might not be the same religion as you are, or they might not be as religious as you are. But there's no harm there. Di naman bad words yun. Okay? So just express your appreciation no matter what the score you get. Kasi they spend time with you. Okay? And they really paid attention to you. So remember, di ba, being thankful is one of the best things that you can do. Okay, if everybody said thank you, if everybody was appreciative, then we will have fewer fights in this world. Maybe we will be able to solve problems more quickly instead of blaming each other, instead of saying to your enemies, "Tangina mo, matay ka na," instead of using bad words. Maybe let's appreciate each other's work and then help. Okay, so yun po. Pasalamat tayo. Okay, so those are my 8 tips. Okay, little tips, they might be little, pero taken together and applied properly, they will make a big difference. They might even shift your score by at least 0.5 man lang. Okay, so you can do this in addition to your language preparation. Uy, there's a nice story here. Sabi niya, sir, nung ako, kinawayan ko bago mag-off yung, so you know what, that's nice. If I were the examiner, gumanon sa akin, I'd probably wave back. So, ma'am, nag-wave back ba yung examiner mo o hindi niya nakita yung kaway mo? I'm just curious about the story. Ano nangyari? Oh, the examiner waved back. Okay. Naku, mukhang maganda yung score mo. Nag-smile pa. See? You made your examiner smile. And were you happy with your score? Okay, score mo, no? Sana. Of course. Oh, sabi sa inyo yun. So a recap of the tips. Thank you, sir, for reminding me, Sir GB. Okay, recap of tips. Number 1. Okay, I'm gonna type them in the chat box so you can copy and paste. Okay, let's have a quick recap. Number 1. Dress appropriately. Okay, hindi po formal, Wag masyadong formal. It still has to be comfortable. Casual, smart casual would be perfect. Okay, not even semi-formal. Okay, start the interview, come into the room with a smile. Okay, and when smiling, not just with your mouth here, use your eyes and use the tone of your voice. Hey, good morning. Diba? Next, number 3, mind your body language. Don't be too stiff. You have to be relaxed and you can do this. You want to emphasize something, you can lean in closer a little bit para mapansin yung high-level vocabulary or yung complex sentence structure mo. Okay? Pero pag normal lang, lean back a bit. Okay? Number 4, analyze your examiner. Okay? Ano gender niya? Anong edad niya? Ano nationality niya? If you do that, you can actually maybe shift or modify your answers a little bit to fit their personality, because these are the people judging you. They're giving you the score. You tell them what they like to hear, then you have a better chance of getting a good answer. Okay? Examiners, ano bang alam ko about them? Most of them are, they are educated. They are well educated. Okay? You need at least a master's. Okay, they're very well educated. They've traveled outside the country. Okay, so for them, international travel is not a new thing. Their minds are more open. Okay, they read newspapers probably, or they're updated with the news. Okay, and most of them professors. Ayan, maybe you can use that information to adjust some of your answers po. Okay, I hope that helps. Number 5, if you can and if it's appropriate to the answer, Okay, make them laugh. Diba? Sabi nga ni Ma'am Glads, she waved to the examiner and the examiner waved back and even smiled. She got a pretty good score. I think that might have helped. Siguro mga 5%. Okay? Ayaw nyo pa ng 5%. Ako, pwede na ako sa 5%. It's better than 0%. Everything that you can. Right? Everything that you can. Number 7, show them that you came prepared. Okay? And finally, number 8, at the end of the interview, don't just get up and leave. Okay? Also, don't stay too long. Pero say thank you. If you want to wave, like what ma'am did, pwede rin kayo mag-wave. Okay? End it with a smile. Express your appreciation. Okay? Thank you. Have a good day. Oh, thank you. I appreciate the effort. Okay? Thank you. Good luck to the others. Okay? Yeah, you prepare something. All right? Now I have a question for you guys. Okay, at the beginning of the interview, if the yeah, I didn't want to say this pero agree ako dyan sa nakalagay sa chat. There's just a little bit of subjectivity there because they're human beings too. You know, as much as possible, they have to be standardized. My God, you don't know the training that they go through. Okay? Kailangan sakto yung grading lab, but there's a little wiggle room there. Okay, there's a little wiggle room, may konting subjectivity. So that's your chance eh. Okay, if your level is at around 6.5, okay, you can use that subjectivity to maybe push your score to a 7. Yung 0.5 na yan, maano natin yan eh, makokontrol natin yan eh. Alright? So, my question is, okay, at the beginning of the interview, okay, hypothetical lang to, if the examiner asks you, how are you feeling, or are you feeling nervous? How would you answer it? Imagine you're in the interview. Okay, before we begin, how are you feeling? Or are you feeling nervous? What would you say? What's the best answer para maging positive yung ano nila? Para maging positive yung feelings nila sa iyo? I'll give you a few seconds. Think about it. How would you reply to that? Are you feeling nervous, or how do you feel? They're not supposed to ask. Okay, as far as I know, they're not supposed to ask. But it happens sometimes because some students tell me, tinatanong sila nung ano eh, tinanong sila nung examiner nila. Oh, very good. Ma'am or Sir Wei. Okay, I don't know the gender, pero ang ganda nung sinabi niya. But be confident as well. I totally agree. That's my answer also. Okay? If they're not asking, don't tell them that you're nervous. Okay? Because some candidates do that at the beginning of the interview. Sinasabi nila, ma'am, okay, I'm gonna say this ahead. No, please, I'm so nervous. Guys, pag di tinatanong, huwag niyo sasabihin. Why? Because if you say you're nervous, it will only make you more nervous. Law of attraction, what you say, what you project, what comes out from your mouth, okay, will return to you. If you say you're nervous, magiging nervous talaga kayo. Okay? You can, if they ask you, you can say that you are, pero say it in such a way that it increases your score. Okay? Tulad nito, sabi ni Sir, what's the name? Sabi ni Sir Pete, okay? Sabi niya, a bit anxious. Pwede, wow, anxious, oh. Nag-paraphrase, excellent, nice vocab. Okay? So you can say, so how are you feeling now? Are you nervous? Oh, a little bit anxious, but you know what? I hope I can get through this because I really prepare for it. Oh my God, ganda ng sagot. Kung narinig ko yan sa candidate, parang, shocking, pang ano to pang 9 to. Okay? Here's another good example from Lilibet. Sabi niya, well, to be honest with you, it's pretty nerve-wracking. Okay, but I'll do my best today. Okay, ay, ang ganda ng sagot. Pero, it also depends on your delivery, no? Did you hear how I delivered it? Hindi yung, well, it's pretty nerve-wracking, but I'll do my best today. Actually, that's not a very good way to say it. Pero, you know, maybe you can laugh. Okay, don't be too serious. You know, don't take yourself too seriously. Tawa kayo. You can say, well, smile. Well, it's pretty nerve-wracking, but you know what? I prepared for this and I'll do my best today, God willing. Okay, magano kayo? I told you. The best way to answer is with emotion. Please don't be flat. Practicein nyo na. That's why I'm advising everyone, record yourselves and then listen. Paano ba kayo sumagot? Parang robot pa. Okay, then you won't get a high score. Maybe 6.5 pwede, pero yung 7, it requires more than just memorize phrases. Okay, it requires confidence and the willingness to communicate. All right? Now, a few more tips. A few more tips. Okay. How to get a good score in the test, how to pass it the first try and not spend another 11,000 for a second take and a third take and a fourth take. Una-una, you should know the grading system. Know how you are graded. Okay? And since I mentioned the grading system, cover natin ng konti. Okay, I hope the other lecturers in this group have discussed this a little bit because it's quite helpful. But I'm gonna give you some reminders. So these are the official band descriptors. Global po ito, no? Any country. All countries in the world, ito po yung sinusundan nila. The examiners have a copy of this in front of them while they're interviewing you. Naka-folder po, in a clear book. Right? So, by the way, this is downloadable. Just go to ielts.org. Okay, o kaya Google nyo na lang, IELTS speaking descriptors. And then the links will appear. Pwede nyo pong download to. Do you need to memorize this? No. Tingnan nyo lang yung band 7. Okay? So let's take a look at the first one po. 25% fluency and coherence. How to get a 7 there? There are 3 bullet points, di ba? But I would just focus on the first one. For me, this is the most important. Okay? Speaks at length without noticeable effort or loss of coherence. It means, number 1, speak at length, no? Don't give short answers. Never give short answers. Okay? For part 1, make sure you're saying at least 2 sentences. Okay, and then for part 3, the last part of the interview, minimum 3 sentences. If you can come up with 4 or 5, that would be excellent. So, speaks at length. Also, paano ina-apply ito sa part 2? It means that in part 2, you're speaking for at least 90 seconds. Okay, pero if you're a band 7.5, 8, or 9, 2 minutes wouldn't be a problem for you. But in fact, you can get a 7 even if you just speak for a minute and a half. But you know what? It's not a problem with my students kasi we have techniques for part 2 naman kasi madali. Ang problema nga ng ibang students namin is tapos na yung 2 minutes, hindi pa sila tapos. So it's actually the opposite problem in our classes. So anyway, please no short answers. Next, if you speak at length, it should be without noticeable effort because some people can give long answers, but the examiner can really feel the struggle. Okay, nakasagot nga ng mahaba pero hirap na hirap naman. Now, that's still not a 7 because a 7 speaks without noticeable effort. Okay, it's effortless for them. Also, if you give a long answer, make sure that there is no loss of coherence. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Hindi ka nag-off topic. Because some people can say like 4 or 5 sentences, pero yung sentence number 4 and 5 nila off topic na. Okay? They only hit the nail on the head with the first 2 or first 3 sentences. Yun lang yung related, yung last part of their answer off topic na. Then you still won't get a 7. Everything you say should be answering the question. That is actually a problem of smart students. It's not really the weaker students. It's the smarter students who make that mistake, yung loss of coherence. Kasi they have so many ideas in their heads, minsan sumosobra or hindi nako-connect. So even if you're smart, okay, medyo may traps pa rin yan. Watch out for those traps, all right? And then the next one, so I'm not gonna discuss this in detail, of course. That's not my topic for tonight. The next one is lexical resource. Madali lang to, lexical resource. Okay, band 7. Which one should you pay attention to? I think a lot of review centers focus on this. So uses some less common and idiomatic vocabulary. Okay, that's good to discuss. Pero you know what? For most people, like 90% of students, ang una nyo kailangan matutunan ito, uses paraphrase effectively. It means don't use the examiner's words all the time. Don't copy all the time. Maybe you can show them the range of your vocab by using better words, more appropriate words. na hindi kayo nag-OA. Okay? Where do you come from? I come from Pampanga. Oh, dude, can't you think of something better than that? Pwede mo namang sabihin na, I was born and raised in the province of Pampanga. Oh, okay pa rin siya. Di ba? Oh, where do you come from? Oh, I'm a native Kapampangan. So that means that I grew up in the province of Pampanga. Pwede rin yun. Or my hometown is Bacolor in Pampanga. Ang dami naman eh. There's so many ways you can answer it. So no need to just copy your examiner's words. So tinanong kayo, what's your sige, simple na lang, what's your favorite color? Oh, my favorite color is blue. Isn't there any other way to say that? Maybe you don't need to say color. Just say the color, blue na lang, o kaya red or green or whatever. Instead of saying favorite, I like, I love. Okay, so I love blue. Okay, oh, I think green is pretty good. What about, oh, red is great. Okay, or what's your favorite color? It has to be white. Diba? Ang daming so many ways to do it. However, you need to practice saying those things. Okay, even if you heard me say that, okay, if you don't practice, if you don't say them out loud, then hindi nyo rin magagawa sa test. Okay, it's like watching somebody do a free throw on YouTube and expecting that you can actually do it. Hindi, kailangan mo munang practicein. It's nyo. So these phrases, sentences that you see on YouTube, I know maraming nag-share ng ideas nila. Okay, don't just listen to them or read them. Okay, sabihin ninyo because this is a speaking test. Okay, so going back, are you paraphrasing effectively? I know some people who try to paraphrase pero hindi effective kasi hindi naman natural yung paraphrasing nila. Kunwari, what's your favorite color? May sumagot sa akin ng ganito, seriously. A hue, H-U-E. A hue that is appreciated aesthetically by many is white. Sabi ko, huh? Okay, can you simplify that for me? I didn't get it. Because nobody answers like that unless it's some sort of contest. Okay, so dapat natural pa rin. As for the idiomatic expressions, guys, it's impossible to speak the language without using idioms. In fact, research shows that every second or third sentence, people use idioms without them knowing it. Okay, so yeah, study them, but it's not the end all and be all. Okay? Hindi. What matters here is communication po. Right? Next. Ooh, grammar. Ayan. How to get 7 in grammar. Una-una sa lahat, you need to use a range of complex structures. Wow, parang complicated, di ba? Let me simplify it for you. It just means don't use short sentences. Okay? So just pay attention to fluency because if you're trying to explain as much as you can, okay, sigurado, complex na yung answer nyo. Right? That's actually easy. The second one might be a bit more challenging. Frequently produces error-free sentences. Okay? So, sir, naku, every sentence may error ako. You know what? It's easy to fix. You only need to identify your 2 most common errors and then work on them for the next 2 weeks. That's it. Okay? And I can tell you now what your errors probably are. Common errors, no? Yung prepositions in, on. Ang simple na lang na pagpapalit pa yan, in, on, at. Okay? Are you confident about using them? Ako minsan nagkakamali pa rin ako dyan. So from time to time, I review. Mabilis lang, 5 minutes. Alright? Another one would be tenses. Filipinos love using the present tense. Kahit na past event, present tense ang ginagamit. Okay? Here's a typical question. Okay. What's your favorite color? Tapos follow up doon. Is your favorite color now the same as when you were a child? Tapos, sa sagot niya, when I was a child, my favorite color is white. Oh, mali na yun. Dapat was na. Kasi when you were a child, that's in the past. A lot of candidates think that by saying in the past or when I was a child, pwede na nilang gamitin yung present tense. Hindi. You still have to use the past tense for your verbs because you're describing something in the past. Okay? So yan, common mistakes yan. Okay? O ano pa yung common mistake? One of my favorite one of my favorite singers, one of my favorite singer, okay, mali po yun. It should be one of my favorite singers. Okay? Oh, one of the powerful country in the world, hindi po, it should be one of the powerful countries in the world. Very common. Dahil merong one of the, people follow up with a singular, no? One of the best thing to do, that's wrong. It should be one of the best things to do. It's one of many. It's one of the group. So kailangan plural yun. Okay. People have different grammar errors and weak areas. How do you fix this? Make sure you get a good teacher. Yun lang po. Okay? I know there's a lot of self-study material nowadays online, pero a YouTube video cannot give you an analysis of your skills. They can only give you ideas, right? So make sure that you get a good teacher. If you're having problems with grammar, they should be able to provide you with good advice, all right, and materials that will help you fix your specific problem area, right? That's for grammar. And finally, pronunciation, not accent. It's not accent, it's pronunciation, right? So, I hate this description. It shows all the positive features of Band 6 and some, but not all, of the positive features of Band 8. It's such a useless description. It says you're higher than a 6, but you're not an 8. I wish it was more, I wish it were more specific. Anyway, let's go to Band 8 na lang po. Okay, Band 8. There are 3 bullet points, but you just need to focus on the third. It's easy to understand throughout. So is your volume okay? Is your speed just right? Not too slow, not too fast. Are you mumbling? Are you eating your words? Or are you saying them clearly? Enunciate. Sir, pangit yung boses ko, magasgas. Don't worry, hindi po ginegradean yung quality of voice because it's not the singing competition. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gotten a 9, right? I don't like my voice, honestly. It's my fault because, I used to smoke. Started smoking in college. Ilan taon na ako? 17, I think, and I only stopped, last year, March, at the beginning of the pandemic. So, yeah, kasalanan ko to. But can't do anything about it. I still got a 9, though. Okay? Because that's not part of what's, being judged. Okay. Is your voice easy to understand? Or are you eating your words? Okay? It might be a problem with the mask. Somebody brought that up. So, mag-practice kayo na naka-mask. Record yourself using your phone so that you have an idea of the sound. All right? Next, L1 accent has minimal effect on intelligibility. What is L1 accent? My L1 accent is Kapampangan because, I'm Kapampangan. Okay? Your L1 accent might be Ilocano or Visayan. Might be what? You might have an Indian accent. You might have a French accent or a German accent. If you want to get an 8, you have to minimize the effect of your accent on the way that you pronounce English words. Madali lang naman to eh. You don't need to speak like an American or a Brit. You've been listening to me. Ganito lang ako magsalita. I got 9 with this. But I'm not speaking like, like an American. Di naman US English to. And this isn't British English, definitely. Malayo. Okay, you just need to fix the sound. So are you pronouncing your F's and your V's properly, and especially your TH? Oh, very important yan. Are you saying nation instead of nation? Are you saying YouTube instead of YouTube? Oh, hilig sa YouTube ng mga tao eh. YouTube. No, it's not YouTube. It's YouTube or YouTube. So yung mga T, P, K. Emphasize natin. Imbis na 2. Imbis na 10. Okay? Imbis na tip. Okay? Ano pa? Yung mga O sounds natin, Filipinos like using the O sound. A, E, I, O, U. But a lot of English words use the O instead of O. Kunwari, G-O, go. Hindi go. Ano pa? Imbis na so, go. Okay? Ano pa? Photo. Di ba mas okay kung photo? Photo, hindi photo. Photo na photo will get you a better score. Ayun po. So when you watch these English speakers, excellent English speakers, gayahin nyo lang sila. Alam ko nakakahiya sa simula, nakakajahe. But hey, you're gonna be living in an English-speaking country. You don't want people to judge you negatively just because you sound different. Okay? Ang mga Filipino, magaling manggaya ng ano yan, accent yan. So, use your talent, guys. You have a God-given talent. Use it. So, guys, please minimize your native accent. So, if I listen to you, okay, I shouldn't be able to guess your nationality. Okay? You speak English, I shouldn't be able to guess that you're Kapampangan, that you're Bisaya, that you're Tagal, that you're Ilocano, that you're Indian, okay, that you're Czechoslovakian or a Russian. Okay? Because if you have that L1 accent and it affects the way that you speak, hindi po kayo makaka 7 or 8. You're probably gonna get a lower score. Okay? So guys, that's for a simple discussion of the band descriptors. Okay, again, if you have questions, ask me anytime po. Okay, so other tips pa, meron pa po ako. How to choose, how to choose good teachers or how to appreciate good advice. Ganito po yan. A lot of people teaching Ielts, ang lagi lang nilang sinasabi sa students na mag-practice kayo. Have you heard of that before? Do you have teachers who told you practice lang yan? Practice, 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 practice. Yeah? Definitely. Because I was guilty of that when I was new. Pero, that's the easy way out. Ako, when I train teachers, ang sinasabi ko, huwag yung sabihin sa students yun na mag-practice because the fact is they already know that. The problem is they don't know how to do it. Okay? You know that the teacher is good if they can give you very specific steps or very specific things to do. Like what I'm gonna do now. How to get better in speaking. You speak. All right. Some people tell me, sir, I watch YouTube videos or I read a book with sample answers. Guys, that's just reading. Watching YouTube videos, that's just listening. You want to get better in speaking? Okay. Okay. You get a friend to read the questions to you and then you answer the questions. All right. While you're answering these questions, you record yourself using your phone. Wag nang video, it will eat up too much space, just an audio recording. Okay? And then you play it back. Okay? You listen to yourself and try to judge yourself fairly. Okay? Pag narinig niyo yung boses niyo, is it clear? Okay? Is it easy to follow? Does it sound confident? Ano pa? Okay? Does it have a neutral accent or can you hear the Batangas accent there or the Cebu accent or the Pampanga accent? Okay, neutralize it. Sometimes it's not your whole accent, but certain words lang. Okay, were you able to pronounce this word properly? If you mispronounce a word, write it down in your notebook. Okay, ganun ang practice. Okay, because if you don't listen to yourself, then it's not as effective as it should be. Okay, secondly, when you say practice, you need to calendar it. Lagay nyo sa kalendaryo. Huwag yung magpa-practice ako pag may free time ako. No. Okay? You plan your week with your practice in mind. Okay? Maybe every 9 p.m., mag-aaral ka. 9 to 9:30. Okay? And then, use your phone. Set an alarm for it. Okay? In that way, talagang makakapag-practice kayo. So, be wary of teachers who just tell you, practice lang yan, practice lang yan. No. Specific steps. Some specific steps, all right? Secondly, if all the teacher does is, okay, he or she will interview you, they will ask you questions, and then they will give you a list of sample answers na naka-ready na, and then they will give you idioms to memorize. Laging ganon, naka 10 sessions na kayo, puro ganon lang ang ginagawa. Then it means the teacher is just using a formula and they're not really, exploring what they can do to help you. Bakit? A good teacher will insert maybe mini grammar activities, mini pronunciation activities, or vocabulary activities into the interview. And you don't need to do an interview every session. Okay? So there should be a variety. In fact, I have an activity where I integrate writing and speaking together. Okay? You will learn both at the same time. Okay? I learned it from another test actually, pero applicable siya sa IELTS. So tingnan nyo, kung ano yung arsenal ng teacher. Before you enroll with a personal tutor, dami na ngayon online, nakita ko, nagliba na sila, di ba? But you ask them, how do you conduct your classes? What kind of activities do you do? Okay? Kasi kung nagpapamemorize lang sila ng list of vocabulary, idiomatic expressions, you're not gonna remember those words during the test. Okay? You have to actually use them in a sentence. Right? So yun po. I think that's everything that I want to discuss with you tonight. Medyo napabilis yung discussion, but I hope it was enriching. I don't want to artificially increase the time. It's what time is it? Okay, it's 10:32 anyway. So, plug lang po ako ng konti. While I'm plugging, ask all the questions that you like. Sige po, magtanong na kayo. Yeah. So, I'm the head teacher of World English Reviews. We have offices in Pampanga and in Bulacan. Okay, two of our offices are closed because of the pandemic, but the head office is still open. However, you can still study with us wherever you are in the world, wherever you are in the Philippines, because our classes are online. Sa Malolos, we've opened face-to-face classes, pero mahirap din. I don't really suggest it. I prefer online classes. If the teacher knows what they're doing, then online is actually more effective than face-to-face. Hindi pa kayo ma-expose sa virus. Right? This is our FB page. Send us a message if you have questions. If you need assistance with your paperwork, Ielts, kahit di namin kayo estudyante, we're gonna help you out. Okay? Our classes, we focus on one-on-one. Of course, we have group lectures. Okay, we upload our group lectures into our personal stuff. We have a personal FB group only for students. Okay, we upload everything there, the recorded lectures, assignments, sample speaking, sample writing. Okay, and we have 2 Cambridge CELTA qualified teachers. I'm one of them. Meron po akong CELTA. Okay, unlimited reading, listening drills available 24 hours a day, every day po. Yan. Ang pinaka-importante, you have at least 8 hours of tutorials with the teacher of your choice. Pwede kayo pumili ng teacher. Alright? Yan po. My name is Lee J. De Jesus. Let's take a look at the questions. Sabi niya dito, techniques for generating ideas for impromptu. Ganito yan. Okay. Hindi ako masyadong naniniwala sa impromptu. Bakit? Ako, ang philosophy ko is preparation. Alright? Mas madaling mag-generate ng ideas if you've actually prepared for them. Okay? So it's easier to prepare ideas if you've actually prepared for them. So you know what? Spend more time, reading about possible questions. And then isipin nyo na, you jot down ideas in your notebook so that, they will come back to you easier during the test. Okay? Kasi sa totoo lang, hindi nyo kailangan mag-impromptu because the questions they ask in the Ielts, nire-recycle lang po, ulit-ulit lang yan. Kaya nga di na ako naso-surprise Pag tinanong ko, parang, nagawa ko na to. Kaya tinanong ko na to. Okay? So read as many questions as you can and then think of possible answers. And then you'll be able to recall it during the test. Okay. What about writing, sir? I want someone to help me. Oh, IFNG. Okay, will be able to help you out with that. They have, free classes. But if you want help from me personally, just contact our manager. Okay, kasi po yung one-on-one namin. Okay, we don't decide what you study during that one-on-one. Kayo magde-decide. You tell us, sir, gusto ko 8 sessions puro writing test. So then we're gonna do that for you. Sir, gusto ko 4 sessions speaking, 2 sessions writing task 1, 2 sessions writing task 2. Yes, we're gonna do that. Because you decide, kung magaling ka na sa listening and reading, huwag ka na magpaturo. Diba, magaling ka na, nakaka-7 ka na, why waste your time? Diba? Let's be smart about it. You don't need to go through the whole program if you're already getting the scores that you need. Kung nag-test ka na, bumagsak ka lang sa writing. Okay, then spend 90% of your sessions writing and then 10% hatiin mo na lang sa listening, reading, speaking. Ganun lang yan. Be smart about it. Alright? In Malolos, doon po kami sa Malolos Crossing. Kung saan yung tulay. Tapos sa baba merong pizza place doon, Greenwich yata yun. Tsaka 7-Eleven sa baba. We're on the 3rd floor. Okay? Oh, if the examiner interrupts me while I'm answering, does it mean I did something bad? Ma'am Riza, no, don't think that. Okay, if they interrupt you, 2 reasons lang yan. Una-una, they're running out of time because they have to ask a minimum number of questions Second reason is they're already happy with your answer. Okay? So okay na yung sagot nila. They're already able to analyze your language level. So ba't ka pa papatapusin? Nagmamadali nga sila. Alright? So don't feel bad if you get interrupted. Okay lang po yan. It's not negative. Alright? Okay. If you want to, for questions about how much or gaano kadalas, how to enroll, ito ba, I'm gonna flash our contact information again. Here. Ito po yung page namin. World English Reviews. Right? And behind me, ito po, on this side, ayun po yung phone number ng operations manager namin. And you can text anytime. Thank you for the interest. Ay, may bonus pala ako. Sorry, wala to sa original na plan. Tingnan nyo to ha. I think you might find this useful. Bonus po para sa inyo. Nasaan dyan? Oh, wait lang. I'm just gonna open my browser. Okay. Ito. Somebody messaged me earlier and I thought you might find this useful. Ito po. Hindi ko na makalimutan. Yan. So this is my messenger. Okay. Let me, oops. Can you see it? No? Okay, wait lang po. Okay, can you see my messenger? Okay po. Okay, so sabi sa akin, dito, sabi niya, I hope you can see it. Let me zoom in. Sabi niya, hello, Sir Lige, I'm one of your avid fans, especially in your lectures at IFNG. Thank you, IFNG, nagka-fans ako. Salamat. Lagi akong nanonood, blah, 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 blah. So ito, thank you, thank you. Let's skip that one. Sabi niya, I just finished my Ielts academic exam. Kanina lang po, so that's today. Right? Tama ba? Today ba to? Yes, 8:46 p.m. yung message. Share ko sa inyo yung lumabas sa exam today. Okay? Sa writing task 1, bar charts related to import and exports, China and Australia. Okay? Task 1 was a set of bar charts, bar graphs. Imports, exports, China and Australia. Okay? Task 2, ito daw tinandan daw niya. Some people believe that happiness and emotional health is more important than physical health. Others disagree. Discuss both sides and give your opinion. Ay, ang dali. Yung sagot dito, both. Okay, both are important. One cannot be had without the other. It needs to be complete. Siguro ako dito mag-ano ako. 4 paragraphs. Intro, paragraph 2, emotional health, paragraph 3, physical health, paragraph 4, 1-sentence conclusion. That would be my approach. Dali lang nito. Sabi niya, I applied all the tips na tinuro niyo. Next, speaking. Ang lumabas sa speaking niya, tell me about your work. So all about work. What do you like most about your work? Is there anything you'd like to improve about your workplace? Okay. Tingnan niyo, favorite color. Okay. Sabi sa inyo, lagi tinatanong yan. Kaya paborito ko siya. What color don't you like what color would you like to avoid when you paint your house? Black. Siyempre. Tapos another topic was remembering things. Part 2. Talk about a person that you remember when you were a child. Baka ano to, a person that you met when you were a child siguro. And then for part 3, okay, memories that people usually remember when they are young. And then it's all about remembering things. I took my exam here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Ielts academic. Yeah, thank you, ma'am. When I was so touched when I received this. So yun po yung lumabas sa test. Okay. So other questions here. Who are you going to contact? Okay po. Si Ma'am Say po usually yung sumasagot niyan. So ito yung Facebook namin and ito yung phone number. It's behind me. Okay. World English Reviews. Other questions? Is it healthy if I'm thinking about the possible schedule of my exam? Oo naman. Guys, a lot of people tell me, I ask people, kailan kayo magte-test? Sabi, sir, pag ready na ako. Okay, sir, tatapusin ko muna yung review. I don't agree with that. You have to choose. Kailan mo gusto? November? December? Gusto mo bang mag-limited review at mag-test 3 years from now? Kasi yung ibang review centers, unlimited review. Guys, I don't believe in unlimited reviews. They just make you fail. All right? If you want to succeed, give yourself a deadline. Pili na kayo ng month. Okay? And then kung di pa kayo ready, then extend you by a few weeks. Pero it's better to have a goal, a specific goal in mind. Ganun dapat yung success, di ba? I'm planning to take the exam in November. Ano na ngayon? September. Oh, doable naman kasi sa totoo lang. Ideal study time would be 6 weeks. According to a research paper from Cambridge University. 6 weeks daw yung ideal. If you do it regularly, okay, mga 5 times a week, at least 3 hours, 5 days a week. 6 weeks lang, tapos yan. Okay, then within a few months, nasa abroad na kayo. Okay? A 1-month study plan, extend natin, Sir or Ma'am GB. Okay, wag lang 1 month, gawin yung 6 weeks. Sakto lang yun, it's enough pressure, but it's not too long that mawawalan ka na ng gana. Kasi some people lose steam eh. When we were still doing the unlimited review, nung bago yung company, we had people who were already with us for 2 years, 3 years. Okay, hindi makaalis-alis. And then sabi ko, no, it's, di ba, it's not working. O sige, simula ngayon, 3 months na lang yung package natin. You know what? 3 months, nakaalis na sila. You need to put a little bit of pressure on yourself. A little bit, wag naman sobra. Alright? So yun po, I hope you learned a lot tonight. I have classes with IFNG twice a month po. Okay, and if you learn something that makes my heart happy, tutuwa po ako. Thank you for listening to me. I'm happy to share whatever, little things that I've gained throughout the years. Okay? Maraming salamat po. I hand the floor over to our admins. May gusto pa po ba kayong sabihin?
Okay, thank you, Sir Lee, as always. So, as you can see,
Sorry, hindi ako ready.
Okay lang yan, sir. Nabigyan ng hustisya.
Gusto makita yung notes ko? Ito yung notes ko. Yan lang.
Number.
For a number lang.
Pero di ba, sir, as you can see, there are members naman na messaging nyo na talagang useful even though free webinars lang, gano'n, still.
Natutuwa nga ako eh.
Kaya, ayun. So guys, if you're interested, kindly contact them to the number that is posted with Sir Lige's background. So, thank you, Sir Lige, as always. So, looking forward for another lecture with you.
No problem. No problem.
So, Mr. M, Sir Jeff, ingat kayo. Thank you, everyone. Good night from the Philippines. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.